has you looking at the Lakers a little bit differently right now. Of course, Oklahoma City is still a team to beat. They're the reigning defending champions. They're like 17 or 18-1. Denver's right there. They've retooled. They've gotten a bit younger, and they still have Jokic. And Jokic has been the Lakers' kryptonite for years, but that was before Luka Dončić got there.
The Los Angeles Lakers stepped into this season loaded with talent, hype, and sky-high expectations. But once you look past the flashy plays, a whole different picture shows up. You slow down the film, and the problems jump out right away. Missed rotations, sloppy timing, and habits that point to something deeper going on inside the lineup. If these issues don't get cleaned up fast, they won't stay small problems for long. They could throw the entire playoff run off track. The Lakers are strong enough to push through the regular season, but the playoffs are a different world completely. The pace slows, defenses lock in, and every weakness gets dragged into the spotlight whether a team is ready or not.
Those having words with LeBron over here in the corner. Dončić at the line. Now here's LeBron and Green talking with a win yesterday.
If LA doesn't tighten things up right now, all that star power won't mean much when the games actually start deciding legacies. Today we're breaking down the trouble spots this squad can't ignore anymore, and the stuff the scoreboard can't hide, no matter how good the highlights look. The Lakers opened the 2025-26 season blazing hot, sitting at 13-4 and holding the top spot in the Pacific Division, and none of it feels like a fluke. The numbers back everything up. An offensive rating of 118.4 points per 100 possessions and more than 118 points a night shows how sharp this team is playing. They aren't just throwing shots up, they're taking smart ones, hitting around 51% from the field, and staying locked in on their system like a squad that knows exactly what it wants to do. When you mix that clean offense with focused defense, you get a +3, a 5 net rating, the type of number that screams, this team is built for the postseason. And what really stands out is how they perform in close games. When things get tight, they slow it down, clamp up on defense, and finish strong against the best teams in the league.
The brother's looking spectacular and a clear, one of the top candidates for league MVP honors if he continues to look the way that he has looked. The Clippers are another story, highly disappointing this season, but LeBron James being back, Austin Reeves and him doing what they're doing, and Luka Dončić just looking the way that he's looking, which is nothing short of spectacular.
If they keep sharpening what already works, this could be the start of something special. And here's the wild part. The Lakers weren't even supposed to look this good without LeBron, but while he was out, Louisiana ran through the Western Conference like a squad playing with purpose. Meanwhile, across the league, Luka Dončić has been on a whole different level, straight domination. He opened the season with back-to-back 40-point games, becoming just the 4th player in NBA history to do it, and the first ever to put those numbers together with double-digit rebounds and at least 5 assists in both games. Dropping 92 points in 2 nights set a brand new Dallas record to open a season, and then he came right back with another 40-plus performance, joining Wilt Chamberlain as the only 2 players to ever start a season that hot.
But the way Luka is looking, it just is something special to behold, make no mistake about it. And the Lakers are doing their thing right now. They could be in the mix. It would not surprise me at all if the Lakers win the conference.
10 seconds left. Dončić drives, backs him down, gets deep, gives it up. Washington, double clutch 3. No, the tip in, and they're going to call a foul on the shot. Boy, it looked like he got ball first, right?
With averages around 35 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds, Luka is in full MVP mode. In just 12 games, he became the first player ever to hit 400 points and 100 assists that fast. Pure dominance from someone who looks like he's running the league. Back in LA, Austin Reeves has quietly turned into the heartbeat of the Lakers. He's become a steady scorer and creator who can slide between the starting unit and the bench without losing a step. Averaging around 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists on nearly 50% shooting, he's made one of the biggest leaps in the league. His massive 51-point performance on October 27th, 2025 showed that he can take over a game completely when the Stars need rest. Only a small number of Lakers have ever dropped 45 or more in a game, and Reeves putting himself in that group shows how valuable he's become. His growth, reliability, and versatility have made him one of the key long-term pieces in Los Angeles. DeAndre Ayton is finding his rhythm again. The supporting cast is stepping up, and with LeBron officially back, this team suddenly looks dangerous in every direction. But here's the twist. LA LA still has one major flaw hiding underneath all the success, and if they don't fix it soon, teams like Denver and OKC will expose it without hesitation. If the Lakers solve this problem in time, though, we might be watching history unfold, with LeBron chasing ring number 5 and shifting the entire GOAT conversation once again. Every great LeBron or Luka-led squad has always lived by one simple rule: surround the superstar with shooters. That's the blueprint, the cheat code, the formula that keeps the floor wide open and the defense stressed out. But right now, the Lakers are breaking that rule in the worst possible way. They sit 30th, dead last, in made threes, and in today's game, that's a serious problem. You can't chase a championship if the defense doesn't respect your spacing. So the big question becomes, do the Lakers need to pull the trigger on a trade for a real knockdown shooter before the deadline hits? There's still a chance this shakes itself out. Maybe it's just a rough stretch, but the numbers aren't helping that argument. Luka is shooting a career low 33.3% from deep, a bit under his usual 34.9% comma, even though he's leaner and dropping 35 a night like it's nothing. Austin Reeves hasn't found his range either. He's sitting at just 31.8% from 3 when he's normally around 36.6% exclamation mark. Now that LeBron is back, he'll pull defenders inside and free up cleaner looks for everyone, but even he opened the year shooting just 33.3% from deep, right around his career level. The problem is simple: nobody in LA is hitting threes consistently, and the offense feels it every night. If this doesn't improve soon, playoff defenses are going to dare the Lakers to shoot again, exactly like they did last season. When those threes don't hit, the whole offense gets jammed up. Defenders collapse into the paint, cut off drives, and force tough mid-range shots that turn into empty possessions against disciplined teams. That's a trap every contender avoids, because once the paint closes, the whole offensive system freezes up. And that leads to a real question: how does a team that fell apart in the first round suddenly look like a contender now? The Lakers did finish 3rd in the West last season, but the late season collapse, just 10 wins in their final 21 games, showed the truth. That early playoff exit didn't come out of nowhere. It was a warning sign that something deeper was already cracking. Mid-season blockbuster trades like the one that brought Luka Dončić to LA always grab attention, but they rarely deliver instant magic. Still, when the chemistry clicked, the LeBron-Luka combo looked downright dangerous. Their combined talent bent defenses in ways younger teams couldn't handle, and anytime they shared the floor, it felt like the Lakers were controlling every possession. It's worth remembering, though, that Luka wasn't completely locked in when he arrived. He got traded mid-season, came in a little out of shape, and only played 50 regular season games, the fewest of his career. Moves like that almost never snap into place right away. Even when two megastars share the lineup, the Lakers barely had time to build rhythm, and the roster definitely wasn't balanced yet. The biggest hole: center. LA's front court rotation was in such rough shape that Jackson Hayes and Alex Len, the only true centers, combined for under 10 playoff minutes. Len wasn't expected to contribute much, but Hayes had been getting around 20 minutes a night before suddenly hitting the bench in Game 5 against Minnesota because JJ Redick couldn't trust his defense. That's when it became clear. The Lakers needed a reliable, steady big man in the middle. That's why DeAndre Ayton's arrival feels like an actual upgrade. His 15 points and 8 rebounds per game might not sound flashy, but for this squad, it's exactly the kind of stability they've been missing. And with Luka playing at an all-time level, the whole formula finally looks like it makes sense. He's the type of superstar built to carry a franchise, and with real support around him, Louisiana finally has the pieces to chase another deep playoff run. But even with all that progress, one major problem is still holding this team back: turnovers. The Lakers sit dead last in turnover percentage, giving the ball away on nearly 17% of their possessions. That's not just sloppy basketball, it destroys rhythm. Every lost possession turns into an easy transition chance for the other team, and those mistakes keep stealing momentum from the Lakers at the worst possible times. They should be winning with this roster, no question, but the real issue is whether LeBron can fix what's broken. In theory, he absolutely can, but it's surprising to see problems this big while Luka is the one running the offense. Luka has always controlled the ball better than most stars in the league. Back in Dallas, his teams were some of the most disciplined squads when it came to protecting possessions. His current 4.2 turnovers per game look heavy on paper, but for someone who handles the rock almost every single trip, that's normal. If LeBron truly decides to take over that steady, stabilizing playmaking role he's been talking about, things could balance out fast. And if he really pulls off ring number 5, the entire GOAT conversation will explode right back into the spotlight. Still, these turnovers are draining this team's energy every night. Even when LA shoots well, they can't keep their rhythm because they keep giving the ball away. This isn't about effort, it's about control. Marcus Smart was brought in to bring leadership and toughness, but right now he's averaging 2 turnovers to under 3 assists, and that's not the impact they expected. DeAndre Ayton is putting up good numbers, but he still coughs the ball up more than he should. You can practically feel JJ Redick getting frustrated on the sidelines because mistakes like these don't just hurt, they bury teams in playoff moments when every possession matters. But underneath all the turnovers sits something even bigger. The Lakers still don't have a real offensive identity. For the last decade, every single championship team finished top 6 in either offensive or defensive rating, and most of them dominated on offense. Until LA finds a consistent structure and sharpens their style, they'll stay in that good but not great zone, stuck between potential and results. Now here comes problem number 3, defense. It's not awful, but it's nowhere close to elite, and that's the issue that analysts warned about before the season even started. They were right. The Lakers still get caught on missed rotations, slow closeouts, and lazy switches. All those little details that top-tier teams punish right away. Their offense can carry them for stretches, but whenever the defense slips, opponents jump on those openings instantly. If they don't fix this soon, playoff teams are going to expose every crack in that defensive wall. But the crazy part, LA's best path to real contention might not be building a lockdown defense. It might be leaning completely into their offense. Recent champions like the 2023 Nuggets and the 2021 Bucks didn't shut everybody down, but their offense was so explosive that teams couldn't keep up. For these Lakers, that might be the only formula that truly works. Problem number 4 hits even harder. The Lakers rely way too much on their 3 stars, Luka, Dončić, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves. The moment any one of them sits, everything changes. The ball stops moving, spacing shrinks, and suddenly clean looks disappear like they never existed. The numbers tell the whole story. The offense lives and dies through those 3, and when they're off the floor, efficiency falls off a cliff. That kind of dependence is dangerous. LeBron has to manage his minutes. Luka carries a massive creation load, and Reeves can't be the guy holding the entire offense together by himself. Even one off night, a little fatigue, or a small injury to any of them can knock the whole game plan out of rhythm, and the bench hasn't helped enough either. When the second unit checks in, the defense softens, the energy drops, and other teams start gaining momentum almost immediately. That's already a problem right now, but in the playoffs, that can be deadly. Once opponents start attacking those weak stretches, the Lakers' lack of reliable depth behind their stars could shift from a simple flaw into the exact reason their season comes to an early end. With the playoffs closing in, the Lakers have some clear fixes they need to lock in if they want this strong regular season to turn into a real championship push. Defense has to come first. Too many slow rotations and missed switches keep hurting them, and every time they lose focus, opponents jump on it right away. When the Lakers are locked in, they can guard anybody, but that energy has to show up every single night. Sharper communication and tighter pick and roll coverage could flip this team into a nightmare matchup real quick. The next big issue is the three-point shooting. It's not just about knocking down shots, it's about spacing the floor smartly and moving with purpose. When Luka drives, the rest of the squad needs to stay active, keep the defense guessing, and create cleaner angles for open looks. That's how a team keeps rhythm and avoids those long-scoring droughts that kill momentum. Turnovers are another major problem the Lakers can't ignore. Rushed passes and forced drives waste possessions, hand easy buckets to the other team, and break their flow. If LA takes better care of the ball, their entire offense becomes more steady instantly. And then there's the bench. They've got to step up. Whenever the second unit checks in, the intensity dips and opponents start slicing into leads right away. Luka, LeBron, and Reeves can't carry everything on their backs forever. And when playoff pressure hits, mental toughness matters just as much as pure talent. Staying sharp and connected could be the difference between another early exit or a real deep run. If you're a Lakers fan, there's actually some good news. The path forward is still wide open. History says it's possible. Back in 2024, Luka Dončić led the Mavericks to the NBA Finals with a team that ranked just 10th in offense and 18th in defense. And he didn't just sneak into the finals, he went through the defending champs, the Thunder, a squad that was on pace to break the all-time wins record. That second round matchup was wild. Luka and PJ Washington took down the Thunder in a dramatic 6-game series that ended with a controversial call in Game 6. So if you're wondering whether the Lakers can pull this off, all you have to do is look at Luka's history. He's already shown he can drag a team deep into the playoffs even when the odds are stacked against him. And this time, he's got LeBron and Reeves riding with him. Luka Dončić and LeBron James were built for playoff basketball. Luka might not have a ring yet, but his postseason numbers are unreal. Both he and LeBron have averaged over 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists per game in the playoffs. The only 2 players in NBA history to ever hit those levels. Even crazier, Luka and Michael Jordan are the only players to average more than 30 points per game in the postseason. That's not luck, that's real dominance. When Luka and LeBron share the floor with a roster strong enough to support them, anything is possible. Luka's in his absolute prime. LeBron still has plenty left in the tank. And when one of the best players on the planet is on your side, even powerhouse teams like the Thunder can take a hit. But here's the catch. They need the right pieces around them. If the Lakers don't fix their three-point shooting and turnover problems soon, a trade might be the only way to keep this championship dream alive. The front office is already eyeing a few potential targets who could shift things fast and give this team the exact boost it needs. Daniel Gafford's name keeps jumping into the conversation, but pairing him with DeAndre Ayton doesn't really make sense for what the Lakers need right now. Ayton has been quietly locking things down on defense, ranking in the 92nd percentile as a rim protector, actually ahead of Gafford. Gafford is good, no question, but LA doesn't need another big man in the mix. What they really need is a tough 3-and-D wing who can defend multiple spots and knock down shots when it matters. If the Lakers could somehow pull off a miracle and land Lauri Markkanen, it'd be a total dream. A guy putting up close to 30 a night and shooting lights out from deep sounds unreal for this lineup. But let's keep it real. That move is pure fantasy right now. Detroit or Golden State have way more assets to win that kind of bidding war, and LA just doesn't have the pieces to match them, so the Lakers have to think smaller but smarter. Someone like Keon Ellis could be a sneaky good pickup. He's been stuck on the outside of Sacramento's rotation, but his three-point shot and perimeter defense fit perfectly with what LA needs. Still, it's fair to ask if a younger role player like Ellis could really move the needle for a team trying to win right now. A more serious swing would be Herb Jones. The Pelicans are in a strange spot at the moment, and his timeline doesn't exactly match where they're headed. He'd cost a lot, but with his first team all-defense resume, the Lakers should at least make the call. He's not the elite shooter they ideally want, but his intensity and toughness would instantly raise their defensive ceiling. Trey Murphy III would be another dream addition. He's putting up around 20 a night and hitting more than 40% from 3, which is exactly the kind of firepower the Lakers are desperate for. But if New Orleans ever made him available, Louisiana would have to throw everything they have onto the table just to stay in the race. Then there's Andrew Wiggins. His trade value has taken a hit recently, but the man has championship experience, can guard multiple positions, and still knocks down threes at a respectable clip. He might not bring the highlight level flash, but he's the kind of steady, reliable piece that wins playoff games when the pressure gets real. And don't sleep on Jeremy Grant either. Yeah, he's pricey, but if Portland slips out of the play-in picture, things could get interesting fast. Grant is putting up close to 20 points per game and shooting above 40% from deep, which fits LA's system perfectly. He's the kind of two-way forward who gives a team balance on both ends. Bottom line, the Lakers aren't that far off. They don't need another superstar, they just need the right addition. If Rob Pelinka can land one of these wings and tighten up the rotation around Luka, LeBron, and Reeves, this squad could flip from solid to straight-up dangerous real quick. So what do you think about this Lakers story? Do you believe they can fix these flaws before the playoffs hit, or are we looking at another early exit? Can Luka and LeBron really take this team all the way, or is there still one missing piece this roster has to find? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate everyone who takes the time to share their take. It truly means a lot. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Ball Scope for more NBA drama, real talk, and behind-the-scenes moments. And if you're still here, check out the next video. There's plenty more wild basketball talk waiting for you. Catch you in the next one.